Hello fellow traders, Marv Eisen here from Timeless Dollar Trading Academy, and I want to go over a few basics on how to use the stochastics in conjunction with the Taylor trading range to determine how to get a bigger piece of the day's trading zone action. And so here on July 15th, prices are starting out about an hour before the market open. I'm going to start it up, and you see the stochastics down here at the bottom of my chart. Prices are coming in, and I have the trading zone set up from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., the regular trading hours. Let me stop it right over here. The prices opened toward the high of the calculated trading range, and the trading range is 55 points here from 76.12 to 75.57, 55-point range. And with prices starting up at the top of the trading range, we could maybe expect prices are going to trade down through the trading range, but it depends where we can find the intraday high or low within the first hour. And so here we are at around about a little after 10 o'clock. Prices have made an intraday high right over here at 9:36, and they've tested that high at 10:06, about a half an hour later, but didn't break through it. Now again, the Taylor trading zone is particularly accurate on most days as to the range. As I said, wait for about an hour after the market opens and transpose the trading zone to the intraday high or the intraday low. And so I've selected the trading zone. I'm going to make a clone of it, and I'm going to transpose the clone up to the intraday high, which is put in right about over here at 76.27. Prices might trade down to the transposed trading zone right down here to 75.72. Here we haven't placed a trade. It's a little after 10 o'clock, and the stochastics are overbought. So with an overbought stochastic, prices testing but not broke through the intraday high, the likelihood, remember, I'm talking likelihood, there's no certainty in trading. The likelihood it's going to trade down from here. So I'm going to continue the video. Let's continue. And we see prices just briefly hit their head. This is a stop run over here. We can see two opposing candles of equal length, longer than the preceding candles. That's a stop run indicator. And the stochastics overbought. Now they're oversold. Prices continuing to go down. And remember, there are 10 points between, 10 points between each horizontal line on this chart. So we're talking 10 points, $50 a point, $500 between each horizontal line on the chart. And again, with the assumption that the trading zone is going to give us an indication of where prices are likely to trade down to, based on our read of the intraday high, prices are likely to trade down right over here, as I said, to 75.72. Continue trading. Now, I want to call your attention, I stopped it here, to the stochastics. You can jump on and off. If your indication is that, or your inclination, I should say, is that prices are going to trade toward the lower end of the trading zone throughout the day, you can get off the trading zone when prices hit the oversold level, get back on to the downside, and get back on when prices are overbought. Right over here. Get back on over here, get off here, get on here. The stochastics are giving us an indication where to get on and off, but if we use the bigger picture, the trading zone itself, we're looking for prices to bottom out somewhere around 75.27. Let's continue throughout the day. Okay, right here at 12:36, prices did hit the predicted low. Let's continue. And this is a point where basically you close off your trade, and you made a large portion of that 55-point trading range for the day, which is what I told you at the beginning of this video. And this is how you use the trading zone in conjunction with the stochastics. You don't have to stay on for the entirety of the day. You can use the stochastics to give you the on and off jumping points. Does that make sense? It should make sense. All right, let me take you through the rest of the day. At this point, you should close your computer. You've made a very good profit if you've had this type of game plan. Let's go on to the next day, July 16th. Okay, here we are on July 16th. Again, I have the trading zone set up. The support is down at 75.77, resistance at 76.31, again about 55, 56 points, and prices are starting up. This is about a half hour before the market opens. I'm going to start up the action. Again, we're going to take note of the stochastics down at the bottom of my chart and the trading range. And here we have prices hitting the support, bouncing off support just after the market opens. We don't know where prices are going to go. Nobody knows where prices are going to go. We have to have indications based on, in this video, the stochastics and the trading zone. Trading zone has already given us a limit of where prices are likely to go. Now, based on the intraday low, which was put in right over here at 948, prices could trade up through the trading zone up to the 76.31. But I want to call your attention to one more thing. The most powerful trade, and the one that's most likely to succeed, is the gap trade. And here is the previous day's close, 76.16. So here on July 16th, there's a high likelihood of a gap trade because prices are immediately, they're bouncing off the trading zone support at 75.77. And here the previous day's close, 76.17. So that's about a 40 point move from the bottom of the trading zone up to the previous day's close. And so prices are oversold right where the market hit and bounced off the trading zone support. Let's continue. And if our trade is the gap, when there's a gap trade, play the gap trade, leave the rest of the day alone, because the gap trade is the highest probability trade of all the 6 trade setups. All right? Prices moving up toward the gap. There we go. Okay, they are 2 points away from the gap, and then they basically faded. They bounced up around here a little bit. This is where you get off. If you've made yourself 35 or so points from 10 o'clock to about 10:50, I'd say, if you made yourself 35 points, wouldn't you call that a day? That would be $1,500 on the S&P E-mini. I'd call that a day. Leave the rest of the day alone. Where'd prices go? Well, let's see. Let's see if the trading zone was accurate in its prediction of that 55-point range. Now remember, we're going from the intraday high or the intraday low to the other end of the trading range. And so I'm going to let this go for the entirety of the day on July 16th, and then I'm going to show you the 2 possibilities of where the trading zone is going to indicate prices are likely to go, if we take it from the intraday high or we take it from the intraday low. All right? So here we are toward the end of the day. I'm going to stop it right over here. Here's the end of the day. Now, if we take the trading zone from the intraday low right over here, we would expect prices to trade up to the 76.31. That would be the 55-point range. But if we take the trading zone from to the intraday high and transpose it from there, I'm going to clone it, transpose it to the intraday high right over here. Here's the intraday high. And where did prices go? Right down to the 55-point range. But of course, we had no way of knowing over here that prices weren't going to continue up and trade toward the upside. We would have been wrong if we stayed on that approach. The highest percentage trade was the gap trade, right at this 76.18 level. I'm going to delete my clone, and we would get off right near or close to where it hit the gap. Never did quite close the gap, but close enough. Prices that approach the gap and within a couple of points get off. Don't wait for that extra 2 or 3 points, because you'd pay the price. And in this case, if you stayed on, you did pay the price. So take your 30 or 35 or 40 points if you were lucky enough to get on right at the bottom, and ride it up to the gap or thereabouts or nearly the gap. 35 points. Nobody's going to complain about that. Okay, let's go on to the next day, July 16th. So we saw that the trading zone was accurate on July 16th. We saw it was accurate on July 15th. Depends where you're going to find the intraday high or low, and that takes patience. And I always use the word patience when I make these videos, because the patient trader is the one that's going to take the highest percentage trades, use the trading zone, use the stochastics, use the 6 trade setups: gap, support and resistance, trend, time and price, momentum, and candlestick. Here's a candlestick trade here. Well, not quite, because it was not quite a doji, and the shadow was not quite 3 times longer than the real body, but close to a hammer, and especially at the bottom of the trading zone. So let's go on to the next day, July 17th. Okay, here we are, July 17th, and prices are opening about 40 minutes prior to the market. They're opening well below the trading zone at 75.05. And let's start the action. Trading zone is well above at 75.50 to 76.12. So that's about a 62-point range for the day. Prices trading nowhere near the trading zone. Let's start the action. All right? Keep our eye on where prices are. Keep our eye on where the trading zone is and where the previous day's close was, right over here. And as I've said, keep it in mind, trading zone is particularly accurate, the actual range, the 62-point range. And here, prices started off the day well below the trading zone and starting to move up from there. Now, since the stochastics is oversold, maybe get off, maybe don't take this trade, but let's see what happens. Prices continue to rise, continue to rise, okay? And then fall back. So with a leap of faith, you could get on at the lower end of the price movement, the price range for the day. But how does the trading zone help us? Well, if we take an assumption early in the day that this is going to be the low, we could take the trading zone, clone it, again, transpose it to, in this case, the intraday low, which was put in right toward the open of the day. And where did prices trade? 62-point range from the intraday low, which was put in right at the open, until about 10:30. Prices traded right up to the top of the trading range, the 62 points. I'm going to take it through the rest of the day. And we can see how the trading range gave us the indication of where prices are likely to trade. In this case, the trade was all in the morning. It was a solid move from the trading zone transposed resistance, or support rather, up to the resistance. And throughout the day, prices traded within the transposed trading zone range. All right, and that's it. And so we can rely on the trading zone. Let me stop it here, giving us an indication of where prices are going to trade, but we need to pick it up or make an assumption within the first hour of the day, maybe even hour and a half, because news is skewing the market these days. I think, like me, most traders see this happening. Wait for about an hour or so, and then transpose the trading zone based on your assumption of where prices look like where they're going. And so here we've taken 3 days, July 15th, 16th, and 17th, proven the point, at least in these 3 days, that the trading zone range is accurate, and using the stochastics as an indicator where to get on, where to get off. All right. So that's my video for today. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Leave me a comment if you have a question or want me to make any videos similar to this or cover other trading topics. Have a great day, everyone.